Welcome to The Extraordinary.
Hello, I'm Andrew Yang, and I'm running for president as a Democrat in 2020.
Part of your job running for president is for the American people to meet you, and I'm sure you've had to introduce yourself many, many times. What's the quickest version of who is Andrew Yang?
Andrew Yang here. You know, I've followed politics a long time, and you're not the new kid on the block when it comes to ideas. George McGovern was going to give people $1,000 a year. You're going to give them $1,000 a month. How are you different?
Mr. Yang, welcome to the show.
It's great to be here. Thank you for having me, David.
And I want our...
Yes, I'm one of only two candidates in the field that 10% or more of Donald Trump voters say that they would support.
Why is that?
It's because I'm focused on solving the problems that they see around them every day. And our resources right now are heading to things that are not making our people stronger or more secure.
Let's talk about your campaign. The hallmark of your campaign is something called a universal basic income. Would you explain that to us? Tell them haters go. Ain't no time, it's our show. We play this before. You should all...
Ways are focused on trying to make their lives better. That's why I'm getting thousands of Trump voters, as well as independents and libertarians, and Democrats and progressives. If I'm the Democratic nominee, we win. That's the math.
But that's Joe Biden's argument, too.
Oh, that's one reason why he's leading in the polls, and that's one reason you'll see me leading in the polls before too long.
You think you can beat Joe Biden?
I think I will be the nominee. The American people is that technology is the oil of the 21st century. And what they're doing for the people of Alaska with oil money, we can do for everyone in the country with technology money.
But that's royalty money, basically. That's sharing the royalty of the mineral wealth of Alaska. What are we sharing with the $1,000?
In many cases, we're sharing our own data. But if you give the American people a tiny slice of every Facebook ad, every Google search, every Amazon sale, and every robot truck mile eventually, we can generate hundreds of billions of dollars to create a dividend for ourselves. And in the
It's our show. We play this before. You should already know. Tell them haters go. Ain't no time, it's our show. We play this before. You should already know. Welcome to The Extraordinary.
As some presidential candidates continue to drop from the race ahead of the Iowa caucuses, one non-traditional one is still in it and still growing his followers online. We sit down with Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang on this edition of Iowa.
It's really helped him kind of get to this point that he has made all of the debates. He's beaten out governors and even some senators to get on that debate stage next week. He's also attracted some controversy on the internet. Some kind of, more conservative people on the internet have taken to him. So what he has been able to do is kind of grow.
There's even an acronym we're working with, which is Make America Think.
And he hasn't held back.
As an entrepreneur, most entrepreneurs feel like Donald Trump gives us all a bad name and he's more of a marketing charlatan than he is a real builder.
Yang doesn't seem to be on Trump's.
Well, it's a dividend on our shared economic progress, and it makes us more free to pursue the kind of work that we want to do every day. It also recognizes the kind of work that my wife does at home with our 2 boys, one of whom is autistic. That work does not get... But this is the move we have to make to build an economy that's actually going to work for us in the 21st century.
If you can't make this nomination, if you can't win this presidential election, you're an underdog. Would you like to see that in the platform?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's
In
one
other
of the
words, that would be your
purposes.
legacy.
If I could help eradicate poverty in this country, which is completely unnecessary by the numbers.
Thank you.
Only months since an enormous field of presidential candidates descended on the Iowa State Fair, the field has dwindled. Almost a dozen candidates have left the race since August, but one unlikely contender is still in it. And this entrepreneur is still growing his following online in what he calls the Yang Gang. Andrew Yang is pursuing the Democratic nomination for president, and he joins...
Here's what he told Anthony Mason in a CBS This Morning broadcast exclusive.
Polls show that most Democratic voters and Democratic-leaning independents, 2/3, the main thing they want in a candidate is someone who can beat Donald Trump.
The economy, instead of being sucked dry, which is what's happening to many rural areas here in Iowa and around the country.
Why do you call him?
Very well done. Thank you so much.
It's great being here.
Thank you, Brian. A candidate who is understood as much as the guy that used to say, the rent's too damn high.
Hey there, as Commander-in-Chief, I will be focused on the greatest threats of the 21st century, which include state actors like Iran, yes, but also climate change, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity. These are issues that, frankly, an extra aircraft carrier may not help secure us against. To me, those are the real challenges of this time, and that is... The Freedom Dividend is a policy where every American adult gets $1,000 a month from the age 18 until you expire. Now, this seems very dramatic, but this is a deeply American idea that's been with us since our founding. Thomas Paine was for it, Martin Luther King was for it, Milton Friedman was for it, and one state, Alaska, has had a dividend in effect for almost 40 years, where now everyone in the state gets between $1,000 and $2,000 a year, no questions asked. What oil is to the people of Alaska, technology is to the entire country. Social Security is a lifeline, but millions of seniors have to keep working just to get by. I'm Andrew Yang, and I approve this message. My proposal: give every American 18 years or older $1,000 a month. That's in addition to current Social Security benefits, making it the largest increase seniors will receive in history. Big corporations make billions in profits while paying nothing in taxes. It's time to rewrite the rules to make them pay their fair share, so all Americans can have the future we deserve.
Taught him about hope and hard work, a leader in education. Andrew Yang, the founder of Venture for America, a nonprofit that helped create thousands of jobs. President Obama named Andrew a champion of change, and his ideas are a blueprint for a new way forward. An economy where big tech and Wall Street are held accountable. A healthcare system with Medicare for all that takes on drug companies to lower prices. A fight against climate change that confronts big polluters.
We have to rewrite the rules of the 21st century so that they work for us.
Andrew Yang, parent.
If you've heard anything about me and my campaign, you've heard that someone is running for president who wants to give every American $1,000 a month. 7 years ago, I started Venture for America to train hundreds of young entrepreneurs to build businesses in Detroit, Cleveland, Baltimore, and other communities across the country. Together, we helped create thousands of jobs. But during this time, I came to realize that technology will eliminate millions of American jobs. Economists project 1/3 of American workers will lose their jobs to automation and technology in the next 12 years. In the face of these changes, we need to build a new kind of economy, one that puts people first. The first step is a universal basic income. Under my plan, every American adult will receive $1,000 a month, free and clear, paid for by a new tax on the companies that benefit most from automation. Amazon right now is closing 30% of America's stores and malls and paying zero in taxes. We are experiencing the greatest technological and economic shift in human history, and our institutions can't keep up. If you can imagine a country where everyone's getting $1,000 a month as a right of citizenship, it would make our families stronger and healthier, it would create millions of jobs in our communities, it would improve our mental health, would decrease our stress levels, would improve relationships, and we can very much make this happen. I'm not running for president because I fantasized about ever being president. I'm running for president because I'm an American and I'm a parent, and I can see the country we will leave to our children, and it is not something that I'm willing to accept. The challenges of this era are massive, but if we rise to the challenge, we can usher in a new era of greater equality, freedom, and abundance for all Americans. We can light the country on fire with the vision of an economy that works for us. We're going to make history together in 2020.
Our next president of the United States, Andrew Yang.
We have forgotten the power that we hold. And this campaign is going to wake people up to the fact that we are still in control of our own future. Thank you all. We love you. Let's win this election. Let's win this whole thing. Thank you.
A former tech company executive who's a political newcomer.
I am not a career politician, as most of you know. I'm an entrepreneur.
Memes. Andrew Yang is running for president. So, who is he? Yang is the son of Taiwanese immigrants and a lawyer by training, but he made his mark as an entrepreneur. He helped build a college test preparation business that was bought by a big company, and it made him a modest fortune.
Are you ready to build something?
After that, he started an organization that connects college graduates with startups. That job took him across the Midwest and eventually led him to politics.
We automated away 4 million manufacturing jobs in Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. And so I was like, why are we not talking about that? So that's where this all started.
So what are his priorities? Well, he's got a long list. But the one...
Universal basic income. Universal basic income.
He calls it the freedom dividend.
Now, if you've heard anything about me, you've heard that there's an Asian man running for president who wants to give everyone $1,000 a month. And all of those things are true.
Yang says this will ease the pain caused by the robot apocalypse as more jobs become automated. Realistic. It could cost approximately $2 trillion, roughly half the current federal budget. Some of his other policy proposals? Medicare for all, gun safety, and even free marriage counseling for all. Some of that support is coming from the internet's far right in places like 4chan, Gab, and 8chan. Yang has spoken out against it, but there's no doubt it's helped him go viral.
You know, it's been a point of confusion because I don't look much like a white nationalist, so I've completely disavowed any of that support.
What's his relationship with President Trump? Well, Yang has positioned himself like this.
The opposite of Donald Trump is an Asian guy who likes math, and then...
A date to beat Trump because he's focused on the economy and boosting unemployment. He believes economic anxiety among some Americans is what got Trump into the White House.
We need to evolve to the next form of our economy in order for Americans to have a path forward.
So what are his chances? Yang is still a fringe candidate by conventional.
Not a politician, a new leader who understands that what's coming is the greatest economic transformation in history and who can lead us in the fight for the future that we want. For President Andrew Yang, a new way forward.
I'm Andrew Yang, and I approve this message.